means something else in other countries.
Okay. What does it mean? Small penis, that thing that's going around?
I don't know.
Okay.
It means okay, but Koreans use this for money.
We're gonna use it for money.
But Americans use this for money.
Oh, this is what I was trying to do earlier. Then
but
I was
Koreans
like,
use this.
Hatsu. Hey there, I'm Elise and welcome back to my channel. So today is the first shoot of a segment that I like to call Real Talk, where I invite a guest to come and talk about something that they think you should know before you come to Korea. So today I invited my friend Christine. It's the Chuseok holiday and we both had nothing to do, so here we are. And what is it that you wanted to talk about today, Christine?
So today's topic is money hacks everyone should know before coming to Korea. So if you're living in Korea, you're probably going to be managing your money in the US, whether to pay your loans or sending money to your parents. So there's a few things that you have to take care of before you come to Korea so that you can save money. And so I'm going to be talking about 3 financial things you have to take care of before coming to Korea.
So what made you want to talk about this topic to everyone out of everything that you could have talked about?
So I studied in 5 different countries and I live in the US, and I'm always trying to find ways to save money and save myself trouble when I'm traveling. So I noticed when I was living in Korea that people around me were getting hit with a lot of fees and having trouble like sending money home and all that stuff. So when you asked me, I decided I can give you my tips so you can save yourself the hassle and save a lot of money.
But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram for more advice, stories, and peeks into my real life in Korea. So I already got kind of a sneak preview of what Christine is going to talk about today. We were talking about financial literacy here in Korea, and I just realized that there were so many things that I should have known before I came here, and I just didn't. And so I've been losing out on a lot of opportunities to save money. We don't want you guys to miss out on those opportunities too, so Christine is going to talk about a little bit of what you can do to prepare yourself. So Christine, where do you think that everyone should start?
The first thing you want to do before moving to Korea is start a Citibank account in the US. This is the most important thing you have to do before coming to Korea to save like literally hundreds of dollars. So it's important to start a Citibank account in the US because it's free to transfer money from Citibank to Citibank. So Citibank Korea to Citibank US is free. When you're sending home money internationally, you do it through a wire transfer, and when you're sending money through wire transfers, most banks have a international wire fee, and you have to pay the exchange rate. But the key here is the international wire fee is usually around $15 to $40 per transfer. But this is where banks get you is when they change the exchange rates to they upcharge the exchange rate like 5% on average, and so you're paying more to send money home.
So before I came to Korea, I actually used to live in Japan, and I had the same kind of issue. I always had to send money using remittance services, and I paid a lot of fees. And so I wanted to ask, like, why is it better to use Citibank rather than to use these apps other than the fees?
So apps, they actually charge you still for the exchange rate. They mark it up around 1 to 3%, which is a lot better than the banks. The banks are like 5%. You're still losing out on the money. And also, apps limit the amount of money that you can send at one time. So on the low end, you can only send a maximum of like 500, and then on the high end, like 3,000 at a time. So if you want to send a lot of money home through apps, you need to break it up into parts. And that can be a
lot of extra fees.
Yeah. So the way Citibank works is that they are independent, Citibank Korea and Citibank US, but they're in network. So when you come to Korea, you have to set up another Citibank Korea account, like this one, and you can send home money for free through that Citibank Korea to your Citibank US. And there's no like international fee, there's no like charging markup by the bank, so you actually pay the exchange rate.
I actually used to have a Citibank account back when I lived in Chicago, and when I heard about this, I felt so stupid that I didn't keep this bank account. So if you have one and you plan to go to another country, not only Korea, I guess, then you should definitely keep your Citibank account. And if you don't have one, you should definitely make one. That is probably my biggest regret right now after talking to Christine. So
you pay like hundreds of dollars in the fees.
Yeah, I mean, like once it all adds up, for sure. So definitely go out and make yourself a Citibank account. So I think actually if we stop this video right here, that would be a huge piece of advice that you guys could take away, but we still have 2 more. So Christine, what is the next thing that you think people should know before they come to Korea?
The second financial thing you have to do before coming to Korea is find a credit card that has no international transaction fees. There's a lot out there on the market, and I did a lot of research, and this is the best card you can get when you're traveling abroad or being abroad. It's the CapitalOne Quicksilver Cash Rewards credit card. A lot of credit cards do have international fees when you're abroad, and then some don't. But the ones that don't, some of them have annual fees, like annual maintenance fees. But the one from CapitalOne, they don't have any annual maintenance fee, and there's no international transaction fee. So not everyone's going to be using a credit card while they're abroad, but sometimes it's good to build your credit while you're abroad, if you plan to go back in long term, or if you just want to keep your credit cards active while you're abroad. So it's good to have this one. So this one has no international transaction fee, there's no annual fee, and you get 1.5% cash back. And so, there's a lot of cards out there that give you all these rewards and stuff. All the rewards might seem good, but when you add it up at the end, you're actually losing out. So this is the best card you can get.
So I actually also have a credit card that has no transaction fee, but I didn't make this on purpose. It's totally a fluke. My mom actually made this card for me a long time ago. She's in the military, so the card is through USAA Bank. I'm not sure if everyone can access this bank. I am sure that everyone can access CapitalOne though, so that might be the better card to go with. But I can attest to the fact that not having to worry about the international transaction fees, and also if I go to an ATM machine, being able to pull out the money without having to worry about those kind of ATM fees is really a plus. So if you have access to a bank that can give you no foreign transaction fees, then you should definitely make a credit card before coming to Korea. And we'll put links in the description bar so that you can check out the different banks and the different options for the different credit cards that are good for traveling abroad.
So another thing about credit cards when you're abroad is that when you're making a purchase, they will ask you what currency you want to be charged in. So a little box pops up and it says Korean wons or US dollars, and always choose Korean wons, because if you choose US dollars, then you will get charged higher, and you have to always choose a local currency.
That's because of the exchange rate,
Right.
Right, okay. Yeah. Okay, so there's still one more point left to talk about, and this one, I had no idea about, no connection to, so Christine, take it away.
So the third financial thing you have to do before coming to Korea is making an internet banking account. So the one I have is Shwab. And it's really good to have internet banking when you're abroad, because if you're going to be paying your student loans or credit card bills, internet banking services are just much better. They're always available 24/7. They're very reliable, and you can even message them, so you don't have to call internationally to access them. Because a lot of banks, they close, or they're closed on the weekends or whatever, but these banks are better. So I have the Shwab account, and what's good about Shwab is that they have 0 ATM fees, so you can use them anywhere in
the world.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so they will refund the ATM fees at the end of every month. And so ideally in Korea you won't be needing a debit card, but because you'll have a salary and everything in your Korean accounts. But it's actually helpful when you first come to Korea, you don't have a job or a salary, you kind of need to access US funds. It's good to have a debit card that's good for international travel.
This is something that USAA also kind of has, and I can say when you first come to Korea, you're not going to have a bank account. Hopefully you eventually get one set up, but before that, I think it's really nice if you can use a card like this and a banking service like this. So I agree that that's a really great point.
So one last financial tip I have before coming to Korea is calling and informing all of your banks that you'll be traveling abroad before you come. This is so that your cards don't get locked or anything or frozen when you come here and they think it's a suspicious activity.
Another good thing, if you let your bank know in advance that you're coming to Korea, for example, let's say that you go on a trip, a short trip to Japan or somewhere nearby, they'll be less likely to freeze your card when you travel to those countries as well, because they'll know that you're in the region. Of course, it's better if you also report to your bank that you're traveling to Japan, but you might have less trouble if you just reported at least that you were coming to Korea, so then you can go around to different places too without having your card get frozen. So thanks, Christine, for coming and sharing all these super valuable hacks with everyone out there. While we didn't go into a super deep dive, As always, I hope that this gets you started on the right step to your move to Korea or whatever country you might be going to.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. If you found it helpful, like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And check our description box for more information.
And don't forget to hit the bell for notifications on when I come out with my next video. Thanks for watching. 다음에 봐요. Bye!